Hello, dear viewers of our channel. Today, we would like to present 4 short stories that were popular in our youth. Usually, such stories are told by teenagers sitting around a campfire in the evening. One story, The Voice, Underground. Once upon a time, a boy named Josh decided to spend the night alone in an old abandoned park to prove to his friends that he wasn't a coward. He pitched his tent on the ground in a small clearing between the trees. At night, he heard a strange sound, as if someone was whispering underground. He thought it was the wind. However, the whispering became clearer. "Help me, I'm here." Josh took a flashlight and leaned toward the ground. The sound came from a small hole in the ground. He shone his flashlight into it and saw an eye, a human eye, looking up at him from below. He screamed and backed away, but the ground beneath him shook. A hand emerged from the ground, dirty, with long, filthy nails. He was frightened and ran away. He ran without looking back until he got out of the old park. In the morning, the police found the place where the tent had stood. There was no hole in the ground, only fresh earth, as if someone had filled in the pit. And nearby on the ground were barefoot footprints leading into the forest. Two story, The One Who Stands Between the Trees. If you ever find yourself in the woods after midnight, don't look between the trees. It doesn't matter where you are, in the mountains, on an old trail, or near an abandoned camp. He may be there. They say it's the one standing between the trees. This story began 20 years ago when 3 friends decided to spend the night by the campfire, just like we are now. They found an old clearing near an abandoned sawmill. They took tents, food, and flashlights. Everything was fun until it got dark. As night fell, the air became heavy and cold. One of the friends, named Sam, said he saw a light between the trees. He thought it was the eyes of an animal. However, when he shone his flashlight, there was a man standing there, tall, very tall. His face was pale. His eyes were dark. "Hey, who's there?" Sam shouted. The figure did not move. They thought it was some local resident or prankster. Sam came closer. A few seconds later, the flashlight went out. Everyone heard a rustling sound, as if someone had passed by very quickly. Sam never returned. They shouted and searched for Sam until dawn. When the police arrived, they found only barefoot footprints leading into the thicket. The footprints were huge, longer than human ones. A year later, all roads to the forest were blocked. This happened after 7 more people disappeared. People said they saw a silhouette between the trees, tall, faceless. It stands motionless until you blink. And then it approaches. If you feel like someone is standing very close behind you, right behind your back, and if you feel a cold wind blowing from only one side, don't turn around. He doesn't like to be seen. He stands between the trees and waits for someone to blink. 3 story, The Voice from the Phone. Thomas lived near a large national park. One evening, on his way home, he got lost. His phone was almost completely dead. No signal, only 4% battery. And then the phone rang. His own number appeared on the screen. He answered, and he heard his own voice. "Quiet, horse. Don't go any farther, Tom. You're already dead." The phone went dead. He ran off in one direction. He thought he was running toward the road. The next morning, tourists found his body at the foot of the cliff. His phone was broken, but the last recording had been preserved. It lasted exactly 6 seconds, and on the audio, you can hear his own voice saying, "I warned you." 4. The story, When the Mirror Blinks. Sarah worked as a nanny in an old house on the outskirts of town. The owner had gone away for a week, and Sarah was supposed to look after the house and the child. On the first night, the girl said, "Nanny, I don't want to sleep. Someone is breathing in our mirror." Sarah walked over to the mirror in the hallway, the usual old cloudy glass. However, when she leaned closer, steam really did appear on the surface, as if someone had breathed on it from the inside. She wiped the mirror with her hand. There was nothing behind the reflection. When she turned around, she saw her double for a moment. She was standing behind her, smiling. A couple of days later, the landlady returned. The house was empty. She heard a knock on the glass. In the hallway, in the mirror, behind the cloudy glass, she could see Sarah's face. She was standing on the other side of the mirror, quietly knocking on the glass from the inside.